Hi guys, welcome back to another tech video. In this video, we explore using QuickTime and iMovie. If you're new here and haven't followed this Facebook page or subscribed to our YouTube channel, don't forget to tap the follow button on Facebook and or the subscribe button on our YouTube channel to see more MCPL content. We bring you interesting tech videos every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's video is part of the small mini series within the MacBook Pro series about specific apps that you'll find on your MacBook. We started with Apple Music, moved on to AirDrop, and now we're doing QuickTime and iMovie. But look forward to videos in the new year about FaceTime, how to make sense of your Mac, and how to personalize your Mac. So here's our roadmap of today's video. Since we're using two apps and have quite a bit to cover, I'll first introduce the two apps that we'll be using with basic tours of each, and then how you can use iMovie to edit a video and audio with footage that you've recorded using QuickTime, and then watch the final product using QuickTime. So let's start with QuickTime. QuickTime is part of the Media Players Club with Real Player from like back in the day OG Windows and a few other platforms, and VLC Media Player that has the icon of like the traffic cone. So all of these apps are just a few options you have for streaming media, but Real Player and QuickTime have a very basic set of audio and video editing and customization options and the choice to share the file. QuickTime Player on the Mac lets you edit a movie, record your Mac screen, and capture your iPhone, iPad, or iPod touchscreen. So what we're going to do today is take a few screen recordings with a little bit of audio with it right now. So to open QuickTime Player, you can either open it from the dock or the other folder within Launchpad, or you can go to the Applications folder. I'm going to go to Launchpad, open that other folder, and then click QuickTime Player. So when QuickTime opens, sometimes it can seem as if nothing happens, but you'll want to take a look at your menu bar, and you'll see the name of QuickTime, and then you'll see in your dock the QuickTime icon. And then you may even see a Finder window where you can open a file if you have a video or audio file ready to play. Now, since we don't, we're going to cancel out of this Finder window and then check out the menu bar. Now, like I say in every Apple video, the menu bar will change depending on which app is open and active on your desktop screen. So here we have QuickTime Player up and open. Then we have File, Edit, View, Window, and Help. In the File tab, you'll find your options for creating a new product, so either a movie recording, audio recording, or a screen recording. You can open a file, a location, or recent. And then this is where you can also have options to close a product that you've been working on, save it, duplicate it, rename it, or export it. In Edit, you'll have these options of undo, redo, cut, copy, and paste like you do every time. You'll also have the option for clip alignment, split clip, add clip to the end, remove the audio, remove a video, or trim. In View, this was where you can change the way the window looks. So you can either enter full screen, float the window on top. You can do actual screen, fill screen, panoramic. You can change your playback speed here, change the languages or upload new languages, check the subtitles, look at the time display and either have that display on the screen, go to the next chapter, previous chapter, show clips, or show audio track. And then there's also a loop option. And then like with every app you have, the window tab will let you change what the window is doing, either move it to the left or the right. And then in Help, this will take you to QuickTime Player Help. So that's what's in your menu bar. Now you'll want to be careful if you don't have something readily up and playing or you didn't choose anything from the menu bar, because QuickTime is like obviously a-okay with closing if you don't choose something to open. So we're going to open it again since it decided to go ahead and close since it thought we didn't want to use it. So we're going to go Launchpad QuickTime. And here's that Finder window again. We're going to cancel out of that. And since we want to actually record our screen, we have a few options to start that new recording. So we're going to go back to File. And what you can do is you can either start this new recording by doing File and then New Movie Recording, New Audio Recording, or New Screen Recording, or you can use the Screenshot feature. So the screenshot feature shows up when you do Command Shift 5 on your keyboard, and it'll bring up a toolbar that kind of looks like this. So hopefully you can see that here at the bottom. I am actually recording right now, so that way you can see what's on my screen. But before, I had the option of doing like just a snippet of my screen. So that's here, capturing a selected portion. I can do a selected window. So if I had a window here, it would let me take an actual shot of just that window, nothing else on the screen. Or I can capture my entire screen. Now you'll notice and there's an X here, so I can close that toolbar out if I'm like changing my mind and don't actually need to do any of these features. I can stop the screen recording I have right now, or I can go to options. So in options, this will let you choose where what you're recording will go, or what screenshots you'll take, where those will go when you're finished. If there's a timer to count down before it starts recording. And then any options if you wanted to show a floating thumbnail, which is like the preview. Think of that like when you take a screenshot on your cell phone and it'll show like a little preview of that. That's what the floating thumbnail is. That'll let you click on it to open it up and edit it right there. Remember, last selection will be here, so last thing I clicked on, and then show mouse pointer. So whether or not I want my cursor to be in the recording, it'll show that as well. So if you do show your mouse pointer, it'll show the different things that you click on and kind of do like a black circle around them whenever you click on something. Now you'll have a few more options here if you're doing screenshot outside of the QuickTime Player app. So it'll look a little bit different because it'll give you options of taking screenshots in either entire screen, screenshot just the window, or screenshot a selected portion, in addition to the video recording options that you'll have available when you are in that view. But since we're in QuickTime Player and want to do recordings, these are just going to capture what we have since I'm already using the screen to record. So if I choose capture entire screen and choose capture, it's just going to take a picture and put that in my downloads folder. But that's when you do the keyboard shortcut for that. Now, since it closed again because I didn't choose anything, we're going to go ahead and open it back up. And this time, since we actually want to do a small recording, I'm going to do File and New Movie Recording. And what it'll do here is bring up a small window, so that way you can see anything in front of the camera. So, with your webcam, you'll be seeing yourself. Sorry you had to see me on this wonderful day. Now, if you decide to do a screen recording, what it's going to do instead is record what's in the screen. So instead of seeing yourself, you will see just your desktop or whatever you're trying to record if you need to capture something. So since we are not wanting to do that, I'm going to go ahead and close that. Now when you're in the new movie recording, you have some options here. You'll have a volume slider, so you can hear in any headphones you may be wearing, you'll hear your voice back to you. That can sound very terrifying because a lot of us don't like to hear our own voices. And then you'll have a record button in the center, and then a little drop down arrow here that will give you a pop-up menu. So when you select that, this will give you some options of which camera to use and which microphone to use. So I have a cell phone connected to the laptop right now, so I want it to actually show that screen and not this ugly mug. So we're going to click that. And then what we'll do in the drop down is you can also select which microphone it uses. So right now I can either choose to use the laptop's microphone, the actual speakers for the phone itself, the headset I have on right now, but my mic's not attached, so I'm not going to do that. Or I can use this external microphone that I have attached here. So I'm going to leave it at that microphone. And then anything I record now, you'll hear my voice through my microphone, but you'll see my smartphone screen. So when I'm ready to actually start recording, I can click the record option. and then you'll see there's a time slider here, and then there is a volume slider here. So that way you can make sure your audio is even as you're speaking. So if I unlock the device and say, hey, I want to show someone how to do something in your settings. So you'll access your settings, you'll scroll to display and brightness, for instance. And here's where you get the option of changing your system appearance from light to dark mode, which is always my favorite. I can do all of that as if this was an instructional video. And when I'm done recording, all I have to do is click the stop option. It'll return back to the beginning of the video here. You'll see in the time slider here, where I can either play it back, fast forward, or rewind if I need to do that. There's also a share option here, a screencast option, and then a mini viewer option. But right now I can just play, listen to it back, see if everything's good to go. Now if I wanted to do anything to it, I could check in the menu bar to see what options I have available to me. So I can choose File and just go ahead and open another movie recording, another audio recording, or a screen recording. And this one will just stay here in the background, but it's not saved yet. So if you close out of it, it's going to want you to save it somewhere and give it a name. So you'll want to make sure that you always go in and actually save your recordings, because they're not automatically saved once you're done recording them. So I'm going to click cancel for now. But in edit, you'll have some options of copying, rotating, and in clip alignment, we haven't done that yet, but you can split the clip, add a clip to the end, remove the audio, video, or trim it. So if I want to trim the beginning part of it, I can trim the beginning, and this will take me to something you may see when you are sending videos from your iOS device. This will let you choose what is cut out or trimmed out of the video. So as slow as you go is to let you get like the most detailed trim as much as possible. So I'm going to try and get as much of that lock screen out of there. So then once I've got it where I want it, I can play it to preview that trim before I trim it. And so I can pause if that seems like a good portion. I can also skip through here to make sure I have the parts that I need, and then I can just select trim. You'll probably do a lot more editing if this was something you actually needed to care about, but this is just for demonstration purposes. So we'll take what we can get. So what I'm going to do now is I want to actually export it since I've done something to it. And I want to choose the quality. I'm just going to leave it at 1080p. So we're going to call this our iOS settings video. We're going to choose where to save it. I'm going to put it in documents for now. And then I'm going to click save. And what this will do is export it as an MOV file. Now, depending whether or not you're doing anything with it after this point, you can either leave it in that format or upload it to a converter and convert it into a different format to be compatible if someone else doesn't have access to opening MOV files on their device. Most of the time it's fine. So that's QuickTime Player. It's pretty easy. I'll show you what happens when you're actually like opening a file. So say I actually needed to work on that file again. When I open QuickTime Player, which yay, luckily stayed open, I can go to File, Open File, or Open Location. So we're going to open File. And here it's going to show me the last place I did some movies. So I want to choose the one that I actually exported, and I'm going to open it. And then this will let me play it and view that file. Now let's go to iMovie. So we can go ahead and close QuickTime Player. And to open iMovie, you'll open it the same way you open any device or any app. You can either open it from the dock if you have it kept there, Launchpad, or you can open it in the applications folder. So I like Launchpad just because I like to see all of the little icons. And then iMovie will be here with the star and the camera in the center. So the first time you open iMovie, it'll open up into this projects view here. And to get started with a movie project, you'll click the Create New and then choose Movie option. So this will let you combine videos, photos, and music to make your own movie. So since we are going to create a new movie, we want to click the plus Create New and then click Movie. So when you're here, the first thing that I usually do is kind of take a look around a little bit. There on the left-hand panel will be the Project Media and Library section. This will let you see what project media you're working on right now. So this will automatically name itself as My Movie 3. And then in Library, there will be Photos. So this will just change what the media looks like here in the center. Any events you have here, I haven't added anything to my iCloud libraries or photos, so I don't need any of that project media. So the project media will be specific to what I import. In audio, this will let you look at different music tracks that you can add and any sound effects that you want to add on top of your audio file. Then there will be titles. This will let you add text on top of the video. This can be if you want to put something in a title screen or if you need to type out a little note to say something. Options you have here in the titles will have different effects with them. If you do a preview of that one, if you drag your cursor through here too, you can actually kind of see what it does. It'll show you what it looks like. And you kind of double click it to add it down to the storyboard at the bottom. And then if you want to edit that, you'll just click on it and then type what you need to type, and it'll be like pretty much like a template. That way you can modify it the way you need to modify it. So those are your titles. There's also other titles that are a little bit more fancy and customizable. So depending on what kind of style you need, you have all of these options here. And if you kind of want to preview what it does, you just kind of drag your cursor around whichever one you've highlighted. There's also backgrounds here, depending on what you want to do. You can add these different backgrounds to your timeline. So if I wanted a gradient green, I go ahead and bring that in and then add a title on top. Let's do this one. And then I can kind of just stack things as I need them. And then if I want to add in transitions, I can add those in. Let's do ripple. I can kind of drag it in between if I need to put in a transition from one place to another to give things a more cinematic effect. So if you click a place in your timeline, click play, you'll be able to see some of those transitions work. That's a very, very basic introduction to it. Say we're ready to put in our media after we've played around a little bit. You'll click to import, and here's where it'll let you search through to find what you're looking for. I want to go into a certain folder to find what I'm looking for, which is here, and then it's in my documents, and I want the settings video, and it'll give you like a little preview at the top of what it is, and then ask you where you want to import it. I want to put it in here. I'm not going to make a new event, so a new event will just be a specific video that may have its own set of media. I'm just going to go right into project media and then click import selected. Once it's there, it'll put itself in your project media library here where you can do some more trimming before you add it in there, or if you need to make it full screen so you can preview it and see what it looks like, you can do that as well to watch it before you put it down into the timeline. So in your timeline, you're just going to drag and drop video clips and photos from this browser here up above to start creating the movie. So pretty much just like a storyboard. You're going to have like maybe your intro title screen, and then you'll want your movie to be here. We're going to start at the beginning, and you'll see the image that's across the top here. And then in blue, you'll see part of the audio track that's there. So if you need to do any editing of the audio, as well as the video, you'll want to go above the previewer, and then you'll have these options here across the top. So the options that you'll have here above the image viewer, you're going to have automatic color adjustment. So what this will do is let you select like a range of what may need to be like color balanced. And here you'll have your manual color adjustment. So if you click this, this will let you change kind of the temperature, the tint here, if things need to be a little lighter, a little darker. To the right of that, you'll have your crop. Here with the camera icon, you'll have your stabilization. So if you are recording while holding your device in your hand, it will try to stabilize some of that. So that way you don't get as much movement. And here's in the audio where you can affect the volume of your audio. And then you have the option of reducing the background noise and then choosing the slider to kind of affect how much you reduce that noise. And then whether or not you want to add an equalizer on top. Now in the speed, this is the playback speed. You can change that and then also add in freeze frames. And then you have your color, your clip filters here. This will let you change some of the coloring. So if I need it to be a little more blue, I can change that. And then if I want to add some audio effects to my audio. So depending on what you're doing, if something it's silly or something, you can pick those. And then we have our video here in the track. It'll tell us that this video is 54 seconds long. Now if I need to zoom in or zoom out on the track to see a little bit more detail or see the entire length and then add like maybe another part of a video to the rest of the timeline, I can do that. Add another audio. So if I want to add in some of that, but put it at the beginning with a title. So I'm just going to pick one and I'm going to move it where I want it to be. So I want it in the beginning and I want a little bit of audio. We're going to choose the short one here. Yep. So we're going to drag that down and we're going to pick where we want that to be. So since it's only 14 seconds, it's going to last this whole length here, so I can shorten it. Now if I want to do like an ending option, I can choose a title here. I'll just pick the same one, move it to the end of my clip, pick any audio if I want any of that. That one's fine, so we'll pick that one, move it on top of where we want it to be, and it'll start at the same time, but it's also longer than this clip here. So I can either lengthen the time that my title slide is up, or click to match the audio to it. Now say you're doing a lot of this autoing and you're like, I can't see any of that. So what you'll do is you'll change your setting here to zoom into this timeline a little bit, and that'll give you a little bit better view of these pieces here as you're adding them. So you've got all of that. It does make it take longer to scroll through there, but as you move your cursor along through here and you've got everything where you want it to be, let's go ahead and edit our titles. So we could say dark mode demo as our title, and at the end to close it we'll say this is, oops, thanks for watching. And then now that we've got it all squared away with what we want, and you're like, okay, I need to be done, you close it. You don't have a save project option really in iMovie, so that can be kind of like jarring because you're like, I want to close it, but I don't want to lose everything. You just close it. It'll automatically save it. So you'll open it back up. And then what you'll see when you'll get here is you have exactly where you left off. So it can be kind of difficult to work on multiple projects at once. But what you'll do is you'll go back to projects and then it's going to ask you to like name this one. So you'll click OK, and then you'll be able to go to a different project and work on that one, and then go back to the other one. There's not like that save option because everything's automatically saving itself. Just make sure you name it what you need to name it. So that is that part. Now, if you're ready to take this file and share it, we're just going to pretend it's done. We didn't do too much editing to it here in the middle because we recorded it right the first time. You're going to go to File, Share, and then you're going to share the file. And here's where you're going to get the option to change the details of your file. You can also slide through here to kind of preview it to make sure everything's there. And you can hear your audio. We're going to change it and say this is the dark mode movie. So, demo movie. You can change your description. This video is about turning on dark mode on your phone. And then in the format, you can change it from video to audio only if you just need the audio, but I need the video and audio. Change your resolution to either up or down. Change your quality, just put it in high. We're going to do next. We'll say this one's the high quality. Now we're going to save. And to know that it's saving or sharing it to the downloads folder, you'll get this little time, this little circle graph here, and little pieces of the pie will fill in. And once it's all done, we will get a notification that that video has been shared successfully, and then we can go try to open it. So since this one isn't very long, it doesn't take too much time to share it. We didn't really do too much to it. But if you have longer videos where you've done quite a bit of editing and customization, it will take a little bit longer to share the file. So now that it's done, it's like, yay, we're going to show it. And when we double click on it to view it, it will open up in QuickTime Player to where we can click play. And that's our movie we made now. You did it. It's wonderful. The music just adds a type of je ne sais quoi. Now that we've shared our file, did a little preview of it, we can close iMovie. And since audio effects don't record during production, as you may have noticed, I am able to add that video we created in QuickTime and edit it with iMovie to this video for you to check out. So once it's finished, that's it for today. I hope you had an awesome time playing Video Producer with me. See you next time. So you're curious about how to turn on dark mode on your iOS device. What you'll do first is access your settings, and you do have the option of either searching your settings for dark mode or scrolling down toward the middle of the screen here. Tap Display and Brightness, which is between Control Center and Home Screen on this specific device. And then here all you have to do is tap the radio button underneath the dark option, and your system will automatically switch over to dark mode. You can still change your brightness either up or down depending on how bright or how dim you want your screen to be. And then you can even turn on your night shift, which will still change your screen to take out more of the blue spectrum if you're doing a lot of nighttime reading. Now, if you're unsure how you did that or you want to go back to light mode, all you have to do is tap the light radio button to where the check mark turns blue underneath that option, and then your system will automatically switch back to light mode. And we want to thank you for watching. Follow us to find more videos just like this. Our page on Facebook is MCPL 360. We're here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you miss us on Facebook, you'll still find these same videos on our YouTube channel at MCPL Mo. Find our consumer technology playlist. Have a good day.